We ended our last trick with the game of 5-card stud, where one card is face down and the other 4 cards are face up. Now, as it happens, my friend Lizard happens to be quite an expert at this game, and I'd like her to demonstrate her skill for you. Now, Kevin, what I ask you to do is give me any 5 cards from the deck. I'm going to place 1 card face down and the other 4 cards face up. Lizard will look at the face-up cards and tell us what the face-down card is. Okay. Okay.
The card is the Queen of Hearts.
Absolutely. Let's try another one. Maybe she got lucky that time. Great. Okay.
The 6 of Spades.
Nice job. All right, third and final time. Okay.
The Ace of Clubs.
Wonderful job. Let's give Lizard a big round of applause. Thanks for helping, Kevin. Let me show you how this is done. In my opinion, it's a perfect blend of mathematics and magic. It's known as Cheney's 5-card trick and was invented by mathematician Cheney, then published in a booklet for magicians called Math Miracles by Wallace Lee. I remember when I read that booklet in 1980. When I first read the description of this trick, it was at a magician's convention. I thought it was impossible. After I read The Secret, I realized it was brilliant, and I shared it with a lot of mathematicians. Since then, the trick has since become the subject of many research articles, and now it's my chance to share the secret with you. So, first let me say up front that I have taught Lizard a special code so that when she looks at the 4 face-up cards, she can figure out the face-down card. Remember, when you give me the cards, I choose which card goes face down and how to arrange the 4 other cards. No matter what 5 cards you give me, there will, as it turns out, always be a way for me to arrange them that will tell my trained assistant exactly what the face down card is. And here's how it goes. Okay. Before we get started, let's think of some background about cards. Remember, there are 13 card values from ace to king. We'll consider the ace to be the lowest card with a value of 1, and the king to be the highest card with a value of 13. There's also an ordering to the suits, which we don't usually need, but here it is anyway. I use the bridge ordering, which says that clubs is less than diamonds, is less than hearts, which is less than spades, which also happens to be alphabetical order. C comes before D, comes before H, comes before S. So this would make the lowest card in the deck the ace of clubs, followed by the ace of diamonds, and so on, all the way up to the king of spades. Since you give me 5 cards and there are only 4 suits in the deck, then at least one of those suits has to be repeated. For example, if you give me these 5 cards, the 3 of hearts, queen of spades, 5 of clubs, 8 of diamonds, king of spades, we have 2 spades here, right? So I will turn one of the spade cards face down. Which one goes face down? Here's my rule for that. If the card values are within 6 of each other, then the higher card goes face down. But if they're more than 6 apart, then the lower card goes face down. So for example, here, since the queen of spades and the king of spades are just 1 apart, then the higher card, the king of spades, will go face down, and the queen of spades will go next to it. It will be the 4th card in my arrangement. But if instead of a king of spades, let's say we had a 2 of spades, so we've got a queen of spades and a 2 of spades. Now the 2 and the queen, 2 and 12, are 10 apart. So then in that case, the 2 of spades would go face down and the queen of spades would go next to it. The card that goes next to the face down card, in this case the queen of spades, is called the anchor card. Next, I arrange the other 3 cards in such a way that they will tell my assistant how much to add to the anchor card to get the face down card. All right, so here are the details, and it may sound imposing at first, but with a little practice, you'll find it's very easy. Let's call the 3 other cards that haven't been used yet L, M, and H, where L denotes the lowest valued card, M is the middle valued card, and H is the highest valued card. So for example, if my 3 cards were the 3 of hearts, 5 of clubs, and 8 of diamonds, then the low card is the 3 of hearts, the middle card, that's the 5 of clubs, and the highest card, the highest value among those 3, that would be the 8 of diamonds. Now, how many ways can we arrange these 3 cards? Or how many ways can we arrange any 3 objects for that matter? They can be arranged in 6 ways. Mathematicians call it 3 factorial. Here they are. And each arrangement tells us what to add to the anchor card. Specifically, if they go low, medium, high, that means add 1. If the cards are arranged low, high, medium, add 2. And so on. Medium, low, high, add 3. Medium, high, low, add 4, etc. The way to remember this is if the first card is low, then we're going to add a low number, either 1 or 2. If the first card is middle, then we're going to add a medium number, like 3 or 4. And if the first card is high, then we have to add a high number, either 5 or 6. Now, to determine which of the 2 numbers to add, we look at the next 2 cards and compare them. One is bigger and one is smaller. If the card in position 2 is smaller than the card in position 3, then we're going to add the smaller number. If the card in position 2 is bigger than the card in position 3, then we add the bigger number. Okay, this demands an example. Suppose I want to arrange these 3 cards, the 3, the 5, and the 8, to send the signal to add the number 5. How would I do that? Okay, now adding 5, that's one of our 2 high numbers, so I'm going to have to start with the high card, namely the 8 of diamonds. That says we're adding either 5 or 6. Now since we want to add 5, which is the smaller of the 2 numbers, right? 5 is smaller than 6, then we're going to follow it up with the smaller of the 2 remaining cards, namely the 3 of hearts. Here's another question. How would you arrange the cards to add 4? Well, 4 was one of the two middle numbers, so we'd start with the middle card, which would be the 5 of clubs. That signals that we're adding 3 or 4. Since we want 4, our next card is going to be the bigger one, not the 3, but the 8 of diamonds. Here, let's do a full example with our original 5 cards. Suppose we have these 5 cards, okay? We've got 3, Queen, 5, 8, and King. Now we have 2 spades in here, the Queen of Spades and the King of Spades, and they're just one apart. So I turn that King of Spades face down, and I put the Queen of Spades next to it like so. How do I arrange the other 3 cards? Since we want to add 1 to the Queen of Spades, I arrange the cards in low, medium, high order, namely like so. So we have the 3, the 5, and the 8. That's low, medium, high, tells my assistant to add 1 to the Queen of Spades, giving us the King of Spades. And that's exactly what Lizard did to figure out the face-down card. But now suppose instead of having, say, the King of Spades, we had the 2 of Spades. Now the 2 and the Queen are 10 apart. So remember my rule, I put the lower card face down, that would be the 2 of Spades, and I put the Queen of Spades next to it like so. How do I arrange the other 3 cards? Well, what do we need to add to the Queen to get to the 2? All right, if I start with a Queen and I add King, Ace, 2, right, I go around the corner, we need to add 3. So I need to arrange those first 3 cards in an arrangement that adds 3. That's medium, low, high, right? And so I would arrange it as the 5, the 3, and the 8. That's medium, low, high. That says add 3 to the Queen of Spades to get the 2 of Spades. All right? So when my assistant sees these 4 cards, she sees that the suit is a spade, right? She saw the 4th card. And from the first 3 cards, medium, low, high, she knows to add 3, making the face-down card the 2 of Spades. Let's do just a few more examples. This time, you can be my assistant. I'll leave the cheat sheet up so you can see it. Suppose I laid out the cards like so. What is the face-down card? Well, we know that the suit must be what? Look at the 4th card, clubs, right? Now, what are we going to add to the 5 of clubs? Now, since our order of the first 3 cards is low, medium, high, we know to add 1. So the face-down card, did you get it, is the 6 of clubs. Good for you. Suppose our cards looked like this. Okay, we have an 8 of diamonds, a Queen of Spades, a 5 of clubs, and a Queen of Hearts. Feel free to pause here if you need to. Okay? The face-down card suit, that one you know already, the face-down suit has to be hearts. And the first 3 cards are arranged how? Medium, high, low. Medium, high, low tells us to add 4 to the Queen of Hearts, giving us King, Ace, 2, 3 of Hearts. Last one, and this is the trickiest one, okay? Suppose our cards looked like this. Queen of Spades, Queen of Hearts, 8 of diamonds, 5 of clubs. Well, you know the suit is clubs, but how do you compare the queens? Well, this is when we need the suit order that I mentioned earlier. And since the Queen of Spades is bigger than the Queen of Hearts, our arrangement here is high, medium, low. So we add 6 to the 5 of clubs to give us the 11 of clubs, otherwise known as the Jack of clubs. Now, if you just perform this trick once or twice, nobody will see the pattern of the cards, and they might even suspect that you're sending a signal to your assistant with your words or your physical gestures, but you can perform this trick silently or even over the phone if you'd like. Now, if you do this trick more than a couple times, people will start to see that the last two cards always have the same suit. Now, one way to avoid this is you can mix it up a little bit, like changing the location of the anchor card. For example, when I did this trick with Lizard, I told her that on the third and final time, we would put the anchor card first instead of last. All right, so if you watch what we did on the third time, the anchor card, the card with the suit, came first, and then the second, third, and fourth cards told us the arrangement of the low, medium, and high. Or if you plan to do this trick lots of times, then maybe the first time the anchor card could be in the fourth position, the next time it could be in the third position, then in the second position, and so on. If you do it this way, you can keep your audience puzzled for a very long time.